You want to hear what I'm listening to? That's what I was listening to. When you got a lot going on, you gotta know how to balance all this mess out. Because if not, you would really be crazy in this. At some point, I may go crazy, but it won't be today. Man, this shit real. But based on all the stuff these people been doing, you know, they've been bent over backwards and denying my rights. So in doing so, what it does is it allows me to see how they work together and could see why everybody caught up with these little facades. That's what I was listening to, y'all. Why everybody caught up with these little facades about what goes on with Republicans and Democrats and all that. The reason why I show you this is because with Republicans, Democrats, independents, and across the board, these people seem to be able to come together and work well together to do all the wrong things. But when it comes to assisting or doing something better in the community, everything is complex and difficult, and it's all this pass the buck and pass things on. So in saying that and going through all of this crazy stuff that they've been doing, because they're going to do what they want regardless of what, you know what I'm saying? They're going to do what they want. They're going to keep going as far as they can. The thing is, by them creating laws that deny your human rights and your civil rights, it just set us back in society. Okay, because when you come up with child abuse and neglect, first you took the child into custody under all of these false allegations. Then once you did that, you switched judges and you took all of that stuff out. You did a whole burden of proof, you know what I'm saying, trial where you told all these lies that you were supposed to later on prove at trial that you was able to just, you know, not even have to worry about because you made all of these things up. And you create these bogus records like this. Now, I see why you would need people, their relatives and their families to go along with stuff like this, but you know, most time people not even going, most of y'all wouldn't even understand, because most of the people that go through this, they really do, they go out their mind, because it's a lot to deal with, and probably escaping out their mind is a better solution to dealing with what's really going on. But due to the fact that I've seen so much in life, I doubt, you know what I'm saying, anything surprised me about people, because I know the one thing about when you're dealing with people, it's a morale thing, and we don't see too much good character. Facades and images is something that, you know, society ride on and been riding on for a while. So, you know, that's nothing new or out the ordinary. So, I don't know how many people might walk past or walk by and be always minding my business, but it be full in here during the day. But usually nobody really sits around over here. But it's saying that, you know, with all of this foolishness going on, all this stuff basically going on to cover up what was going on out in Virginia with Shania and to move us somewhere else. And it's the same. Federal laws doesn't change one state to the other. So, you know, these are federal laws where you're misusing and abusing your power. Now, all of y'all tripping and going through all of this foolishness about them impeaching Trump. Them impeaching Trump is going to do what for anybody? What is it changing or fixing? You think Trump, that one person, since he been in there, this just started happening. There's something been going on. It's way too many. You know what I'm saying? This stretch too far. It's done out in the open. So if you do things like this out in the open and it's on a get along, or if we can just get along and we can go, you know what I'm saying, we get by with it as long as we can type of thing. Man, you've been doing that for a long time. Ain't nobody that comfortable doing stuff like this. You tripping. And then every time somebody get busted, it's one of your it's some high up politicians, judges, doctors, and all of this. But we try to pretend like we don't know that this is going on right here. You know what I'm saying? In the community, this is what's happening to our kids, and this is what's happening to our people. This is why they falsifying and doing all this stuff. This is how they setting their agencies up. We want to pretend and go along like we don't know this. Now, the people that's involved in this, you got to remember. Now they tried to play that crazy thing, and I'm telling you, man, it's good to be who you are for real. Cause I'm a kind person, so me, I don't be trying to do nothing to hurt nobody. I need these people to know that I wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't play about no doing no snitching or no whack shit like that. That's not what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? Anything that I do, if I get in trouble, then I have to deal with it. But ain't no telling on nobody and none of that. That ain't what I did, never have. I've been involved in. So I wasn't even going to play no game like that. I understood exactly, you know, the target and the threat they was trying to send my way. You know, exactly what's going on and what they do. So in saying that, I've been able to stay out the way enough to where, you know, they just right now, they're just denying my rights. So, and dealing and moving like I do is hard to do because I do other stuff. You know, I don't just sit around and just let these people do what they want. Since it's the government that's doing all of this, I deal with your agencies every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be more involved than anybody that's involved with you ever in the history of the United States of America. No worries. I got this. I could do this because most of the time we don't fight or stand for anything. Man, this shit do make you crazy. You would go out your mind. Just think about this, okay? Now, within from 2017 to now, that's really nothing but 2 years. Within 1 year, they spent time trying to falsify a case, which is a child neglect case. And the only thing that they could come up was education neglect, which there was no education neglect because there's a process, there's a due process with RC, the superintendent. This is what I say about them denying you adequate legal services, okay? Because all the attorney has to do, which I've been told him to do from the beginning, is file with RC to go ahead and start the process because this is your job. Since you're an attorney on this case, that's what they hire you for. This is your job. You go ahead and do you tell me what you need so I can give it to you. So I don't have to play games and run around and do all this stuff. I can still be out here fighting and stand and stay above water and be able to come up the right way. Because believe it, to come up the right way is a lot harder than to come up the wrong way. Don't be foolish. Nobody messes with your finances and financially push you under because they don't expect you to do the wrong things. They expect you to do the wrong things and they're going to sit on you and wait for you to do the wrong things. And when you do, they're going to lock you up because this is a game. It's a trap. It's a catch-22. But I already knew all of this from the gate. They just went the wrong way with the education neglect because you have to be foolish. Education is the one thing that I don't lack in nowhere with nobody, no how. Even now, out here now, I'm about to start tutoring. I'm always doing a lot. I'm always busy. Just because I'm not making a fortune doing something doesn't mean that I'm not out here working and grinding. I still work on systems and build and go out here and private contract, do everything that I got to do while I'm out here. And believe me, it's hard. It's hard as hell. So again, most of the time, I be in a damn, I just, listen, people, let me tell you something. From the beginning, I understood what was going on. I just didn't understand how deep it is because some things you don't want to believe. I'm telling you. Man, you don't wrap your mind around no shit like this. Then when you see people playing and they playing with your life, see, when somebody hasn't worked for something, they don't understand how hard it is for somebody else. It look real easy. Look like it just came just like that, but nothing comes just like that. Shit hard work. You know what I'm saying? But when people sitting around and they done whatever they done and they got themselves in whatever jams they got into, they trying to come up with a bunch of bullshit ass reasons for who they are and why they doing what they doing, looking for things to blame you for. Listen, that's not how this works, okay? I'm not your scapegoat, because see, and from day one, this is what I understand and this is what I know. Regardless of what I did in life, I done gave the system almost a decade of my life. So I owe no debt to nothing to society. And by me being in the community and being in society, all I do is give back, okay? Not on the image or facade, but I actually give back because kids is the one things that I fight for. So, and all of these little things that you got to do, what you have to do is you have to try to deteriorate a person's image in the community so that they won't be able to get people to stand up and protect and fight the kids. Because see, the people that you're using is our own people in the community. It's not outsiders that you have coming in the community snatching out kids. You got our own good hood brothers and sisters assisting you with what you're doing to our children in the community. Again, as I said, although you continuously come up in the media for sexually trafficking and abusing kids all the way to the top, all the way to the top. There's nobody, Congress, your governors, mayors, everybody, got some weird thing going on LinkedIn somehow with something weird. And then these same people oversee these agencies and collaborate together through 3 different branches to be able to target families and make bullshit reports and say anything that don't make no sense. None. But this is what, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, this is what our ancestors fought and died for us so that we could be able to actually have education, have rights, regardless of what. When they go out here and they commit crimes as white people, they give them a chance. They clean it up, put it on their juvenile background, overlook it, whatever. They give them a chance of life. Anything with us, we owe and we owe. No, we don't. A decade is a lot of damn time to give in your life for something that they can't even prove. Because if they actually had to prove it, all they would do is show that they did all the wrong shit. And this can't be a reality. Not in 2020. See, most of us, we still stuck somewhere. Y'all riding on this image and facade because you thought that what you have and who you with and who you cool with and who you kick it with mean that you somebody. And in reality, it doesn't make you nobody at all. At all. This is much bigger than that, dog. This is generations. You don't even understand the impact of what's happening to us. And these people sitting around talking about I'm mentally unstable. Yeah, you would need me to be mentally unstable knowing the shit that I know that you're doing. Yes, you would need me to be. Yes, that's your whole point of doing everything that you're doing, because most people are, this is why they're mentally unstable. If you are confining someone and you're locking them up, you're taking all their resources and their means to life, to livelihood. You're stopping that. Now here's some things that's common sense. So let me help you out again. If you confine somebody, no matter what you confine them for, if you lock them up, you're taking all of their means and their resources to livelihood. You're stopping that. That means they're totally dependent on the system. Now, if you let them go, at some point, and you denied them everything, then you expect them to do something wrong so you could find them again. So now you're setting a trap for them. But say they're smart enough to get around that trap and they don't go out there and do the wrong things, and they get around that trap. Then you're working hard to try to figure out how to create a history or a background to continue to target them in the system to do whatever little stuff that you do. Now, the problem is, if you create and falsify a system, then how do the public know who's a threat and who's not? It's all a gimmick, right? It's all an image. So this is why innocent people end up getting hurt. This is why kids end up being in harm's way of the wrong people, because you're doing the wrong things. Simple morale things. It's just simple. Now, they're going to go through all this stuff telling you about Republicans and Democrats and which party is better. But I promise you, this is not about one side or the other. They're going to be talking, they're talking about impeaching Trump, but impeaching Trump really won't change anything at all. It really won't. And I'm telling you something real. This goes from your mayors to your council members, to your Congress, to your representatives, to your governors, to the people that you give authority and power in your day-to-day life, your judges, your law enforcement agencies. This goes, it's deep, you know what I'm saying? And it's us who always we take on this enslaved mentality that, a lot of y'all probably felt like y'all had a whole lot of power in this and that you're a powerful person if you can move things. As you can see, when I was out here and the little girl, it was probably like last month sometime, and she was tripping and she was like, yeah, because I know people and I could do this. And all the things she was saying she was doing, I was already going through. That's why I started laughing. I was like, shit, she don't know me. It's too late for that. But it shows you that our reasons for wanting authority and power is due to a lack of something within ourselves, because then we use it to target our own people based on whatever, even things that we come up with. Because let's be real here. At this age, if you're still going through something or you still doing the same thing you're doing when you was a kid, then you got stuck somewhere, okay? If you're still in that same mentality and you still got them same thing, you got stuck. This is a reality. This is a fact, okay? So with all of this stuff going on and all of the foolishness, we act like we don't understand that a lot of these things go on in our own homes, in our own communities, reality shifting, play a lot of little, games. Now these people, they was 100% sure, that they would, when they did all of this, this is gonna be just something that you just do and you get to get away with, because you've been getting away with doing this kind of stuff for a good long while. But nobody's that dumb, because see, common sense tell you a few little things. See, common sense is when anything goes on, I'm smart enough to know the laws and know what to do. So due to the fact that I filed all them things within the proper time limit for everything from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Because what they were saying to me was, oh no, I was doing the wrong things and I might be trying to, everybody was trying to make it into something else. But see, something told me it just didn't feel right. It felt like a trap. And I kept saying, I said, man, it feels like a trap. You understand? So, and everything that's going on, this is a hard fight. And I know I gotta I deal with these people up close and personal, and I'm gonna continue to do so. With these false reports that they write and with the things that they do within their system, you don't really understand now, because most of you are ignorant to what I'm really saying and how valuable it is for us to have human rights. You really don't understand at all. This is a way of doing mass oppression, because you got to think about it. A mass amount of the Black community is who they incarcerate. Okay, so if you're using that to target people, then we got a real huge problem, because as we've seen over the years, them incarcerating the wrong people or locking people up for things they haven't done is nothing at all. There's people who've done almost 30, 40, 50 years behind something, and then later on they found out they didn't even do it. So we already know that there's really no justice in our justice system. But when we got a judicial system and we got a legislation system working with them to ensure that they do these things, people, we got a problem. Y'all think that I'm be joking when I say sometimes I wish that I wasn't able to see or understand exactly what these people is doing and how they're doing it. You think I'd be joking about that? I'm not. Because for real, I'd rather not understand it. I couldn't, this is not something that I can ignore. You gotta understand something, people, okay? Just think about it, right? When you look at everything that we've been through, right? If you ever sat down and take the time and, people are always saying, education is not important, but education is important. It's very important because you don't have to educate yourself just by sitting in somebody's class in college, but you can learn about your history because you can research. They got Google, they got so much stuff now, right? But if you really took the time to understand what we went through slavery and what it did to break us as a people, how it killed how it to strip us away from ourselves. Okay, if you look at us today, you can understand how that same stigma carries on from generation. You can see it. Okay, this if you're willing to pay attention. So all of these things that's going on, that's glorified today, that's trending, it targets the youth. All right, it does not target grown people like ourselves. Most of the time we're already, if we're at this age and we're still stuck there, we're just stuck. Okay, we never came out of that. But it's not meant to target us. It's meant to target the children, all right, younger kids, for them to trend into these things. So when they're trending into these things, okay, they have to lower their self-value of self. Your standards, your morale, these things are cut out. Okay, it's meant to be just that way. So anything that happens to us become acceptable. These are acceptable norms. It's okay for this to happen because it's always been happening to us. This is what they've always been doing. They're always going to do this. These are the type of things that you start to say to yourself psychologically, okay? You start to teach yourself that these are norms and these are acceptable norms, regardless whether they're good or bad. It's called dysfunctional norms, all right? Now, psychologically, with being abused and trauma, and going through this for a long period of time where it's generational, you accept whatever, okay? Now, why these people play all of these mental health games, now this is why I talk to y'all about mental health awareness. I do go to groups and do all of this stuff. My therapist was moved somewhere else. And it's hard when you can talk with somebody and you're comfortable with them and then you have to switch with somebody else and start dealing with them. It's a difficult thing. So I've never got another therapist since that, but I still go to groups or whatever. But anybody that knows me will tell you they've been trying to get me to be a peer specialist since this mess started and I started going there. So although they falsify the records about behaviors and all of this to assist the courts, that's not what's going on. At no point in time when I go down there, I've never had no type of behavioral outbreaks and all of this stuff that they're talking about. No mood swings, none of this. They see me every day, all day. I'm the same person. I don't switch up, flip up, none of this. So this is known about me. Wherever I go, I'm not no 10, 20 different people. Sometimes I'm more quiet because I'm more stressed out. I'm going through more. Sometimes, some days I can do better with everything that I'm dealing with. It's human thing. People don't let people play with you like that. Listen, if you need to be sad, be sad. If you need to go through whatever you're going through, listen, I'm going through hell. Okay, I'm facing all the odds, but what I don't do is I don't forget who I am and I don't forget where I come from. Now, many of the things that we have, we let those things define us as people. So if we have nothing at all, then somebody can come along and just tell us that we're nobody and that we're not of value. Well, I spend a lot of time in the community reassuring the people that have adopted this mentality the most that that's not the case. Because at some point, somewhere, somebody got to do better. And it's each person, okay? So while we play all of these games, these things really happening in society that's going on to target us, to deny our rights and all of this stuff. However, whoever is involved, everything with us becomes an image emphasized with our Black families and our communities. So when I deal with these people and I have to fight them, on these things and these laws, they pretend not to know. They act as if they have no common sense. I go through all of this. The only good thing is, people, that I get out here and I deal with people and build relationships with people so that they understand that I'm serious about this. It's harder than it looks, believe me, okay? Because as tired as I am, I don't really want to do anything but sleep. But I have to sleep when I'm dead. I'm going to rest when I'm gone, okay? This is 24/7, ripping and running, grinding, okay? Whenever the hell I sit down, I swear my body just wants to shut off and go to sleep. Half the time, you got to figure out how to do basic things which you didn't have to even really worry about, consider to this level before. So again, people, as I said, I understand what I face and what I go through, you know, at all odds. Like I said, it's either come out or die in this. You really don't have a choice, all right? Because see, the thing is, if I've done something wrong, I can deal with that. But when I haven't done nothing wrong to go through this much and to target my children in doing so, that's a whole nother ball game. Now this is something that you've been doing. This is a norm. This is acceptable in society. So you're going to continue to do this because people allow you to do this. Okay. Now whether it's from the lowest person on the totem pole to the highest person on the totem pole, the fact is, it's a clear picture. Okay, we're not confused about who's involved and what they did and what agency resources was used and none of this. Okay, so and saying all of that with all of this foolishness that these people got going on, it's nothing wrong with you being emotional. It's nothing wrong with you going through what you go through. Anybody going through this shit would be emotional, be crazy, be hysterical. That is a natural thing. This is some horrible psychological, traumatic shit to go through. Okay, especially if you've already been through things in your life coming up as a kid, and it's been, come on, this shit is really psychologically traumatizing. So don't let these people play with you, and just go in there and let these people tell you that this is wrong with you and that's wrong with you. Because, see, in 1 year, while they've created all they've created in 1 year, to do the things that they're doing, all illegal, and knowingly, they know that it's illegal, from the council members to the agencies. Because see, the whole thing is pointing the sexual abuse out to them. Okay. Now let me tell you something that you can put, and this is as the day I stand before God. If I'm lying, God, I'm telling you, throw me in the pits of hell. The one thing I do understand is the signs of sexual abuse on children. There's signs of this and things that, and what goes on with the kids. You can see these little weird ass looks and behaviors and things that y'all have going on. Man, you don't go this far to deny due process to somebody who is concerned about the abuse of children because they're abusing a kid and do something like this. You can't accidentally do that. So that was my reason for showing y'all everything, because people get so caught up in the image. They're more worrying about an image and what somebody's thinking. But what you think has nothing at all to do with reality or what's really going on. Okay? So one thing that we're clear about here is, what are they gonna say? I smoke marijuana. You legalize marijuana here. So what did you legalize it for? Rich people? And if it's an issue, what has it ever stopped me from doing? Which is no law broken there. Then you're talking about mental health issues. You have no credible psychologist who would even stand on that. That's why there's no psychologist to deem me mental health. That's why the courts overturned the mental health issues. But although the courts overturned it, you still have it written in an order to terminate my parental rights. But the appeals court overturned the whole mental health, the mental instability thing. That's overturned. But that doesn't make a difference. You're still using it in the DC Superior Courts to violate my rights. You have another judge that told you, hey, your agencies denied their basic rights. Your agencies did all the wrong things toward this family. Your judges that you put in place to oversee these agencies, and you do what? You ignore that. You deny my rights. And then you tell me, well, there's a law that says that if you've committed a crime in your past, that you don't have to do the due process for these people. So is that what you've been doing the whole time for the last 2 decades? You've been not doing your due process. So anything that's, once you create these things, you don't do your due process based on the fact, that you're going to use this, you're going to fall back on this same 2002 case that I have been chasing you down for years, telling you exactly what you're doing from month to month, day to day, from person to person, from organization to organization, with the financial record to prove and track and show it with the documents. Man, this is when people, you really got to take life seriously, because if I didn't take my life seriously, I would be really out of my mind, and I would be sitting here today with nothing. And that's the plan. That was the plan from the beginning, to not ever do better in life and not overcome against the odds. And most of us fall victim to what we know, because it's our comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit out here every day and you see these people, man, they be ready to kill each other and die over nothing at all. And I mean nothing. You can't even imagine, like, it tripped you out. Just nothing at all. But they couldn't stand for anything that meant anything, because the way they feel about themselves. So in all of these things that these people have done to try to, I guess they call themselves breaking me. God broke me a long time ago, but no one listens to me. So what's the point of keep telling them? Man, some things man will never see or understand. God has a way of getting your attention like nobody else. So don't think that because I stand firm on everything that I say. I mean what I say. I'm not joking. Everything I said, whether it was to Andre Hines, Christopher Stanley, Demetrius Perkins, I don't care who it was, a relative, whoever, I meant what I said. The reason for that is because, like, people play games in this situation where they play games. You come out on social media and you target somebody for some severe stuff, and then you try to use a platform of a group of people and who you know. So this is more like a damn cult, because you don't want to say gang. You know what I'm saying? That's an embarrassment to every gang on the planet. But this is more like a damn cult, and you got all of this weird stuff going on. Now, a lot of the people that's on the social media that follow, that know me, you know what I'm saying, from growing up, from a kid, you know what I'm saying, they know that I'm telling the truth, and they know, you know what I'm saying, that I take good care of my kid. Plus, you can see the video of him. And this is the crazy thing. The video of Kemonte showing throughout his life, you can't see how much shit I'm going through, because I do so well to protect and take care of mine. By all means, I'm telling you, you have no clue. But anyways, you can't see the struggle, because he's always had a happy and a decent life. You understand? So it's saying that, people, it was like they didn't even want to acknowledge, who this child was, because everywhere he goes, he's complimented. Like, people everywhere compliments me about him. Like they're saying, oh yeah, he's great. He's great for adoption, to put up for adoption. Now, this is the crazy thing. You're gonna deny my human rights, and you're gonna target me about something that I've already been, legally dealing with you about the correct way. Now, you've been just outright denying, the truth. You have the documents, because here you're saying the child is not disabled, so that you didn't have to pay the money, while I'm paying thousands of dollars for education, okay? Then you turn around and say, once you take him into custody, he's disabled because you cannot tell with me. So when I was saying how much work and energy I had to put in, you was low-key thinking I was a liar. That's why you had people like Tacky Jewel Stroman, who was talking about somebody sitting on social media all day, not realizing I do IT. My systems work for me. I work at night. The systems work during the day. At night is when I'm doing meetings and talking to people and doing everything. I'm up, 100, ready, going. During the daytime, I'm not even on my computer. My son is on the computer and I'm teaching him school. This is how he became the intelligent child that everybody knew him as, okay? This is from the professionals in the community down to the people that we just passed or live with. So in saying that, many of y'all, based on how you felt about me, my kids show up for me. Any kid in my care, when they're with me, they show up. They show what you give them. They're able to see, God blesses kids with those gifts. And this is what you miss as people, but you're the good, decent, and upstanding folk doing the right things in the world. God bless kids with gifts. And if we nourish, and the only thing we do is nourish and discipline them the correct way and let them be free in that without, all of the crazy hoopla, they tend to keep on being that way. So they little creative, funny personalities, they shine, okay? You can always look at a kid and tell when they're loved and happy and all of that based on their little personalities, because someone takes the time to talk to them and all of those type of things. So I don't start talking to my kids when they're 5 and 6 years old. I start at 1 year old. I start talking to them every day. I'm talking to them, okay? So even though they can't talk back, they're very intelligent people. Their brains just absorb. And by hearing the same thing every day, all the time, after a while, it becomes a normal thing, right? So for all of this stuff that they have going on, they went the wrong way when they went with the education neglect. Because, see, nobody who does not care about education spends the kind of money that I spent on education. I've spent thousands of dollars, thousands, okay? And I'm poor. So while they walking around talking about how they're bosses and, talking about their nails and their weaves and, they're posing and all of this, I spent thousands on education. Now you cannot lie about this. You can't deny this because I have bank receipts. This is online. This is for apps. This is for books. My son, by the time he was 3 years old, he already had a full library. What are you talking about? We read every day, okay? And saying this, people, these people went the wrong way because they wanted to target me, which that's what they were already doing because they were targeting my children. Many of you who know me, many of you, who go along, and many of you who pretend not to know, but this is, your thing on the low. I thank God for the few of us that's still out there that still stand for something that's about something other than our image and our facade. For real, because that's the only thing that y'all seem to be worrying about. Your morale and what you really stand for don't hold up for nothing. You think that in something you do that you can fear or intimidate somebody into something, and all you do is create chaos and destruction. Because it's a real simple thing. See, you give respect and you get it back. Now, nobody as an adult, none of us is victims in life about nothing that, we go through as far as where I sit. Because, see, when I was a criminal, I only dealt with criminals. So there's no upstanding people that I was rubbing wrong in the community. That's just what it is. And that's just the truth. And saying that, that's been as a child, due to the fact that I realized no one actually, that when things go wrong, people will say or do anything to get out of trouble. That changes the dynamics of what you're doing and what it really stands for. Because, see, you living out there and you telling yourself that, you being thorough and you loyal and you riding for something. And if things ever go wrong, there's no thorough or no loyalty or anything. And you're not really standing for nothing. The only thing is to say and do anything you can to stay free. You don't have those type of histories of drug trafficking with guns through the Commonwealth and through other areas in the United States or the DMV. And this goes on for decades. and it's overlooked, and you're set up to be somebody well respected in the community with the image of a street person. You understand? So, you know, it's a sick, weird thing to deal with, because it's just, I don't even know what make us come up with this kind of foolishness. I really don't. I really don't. I don't even understand the weakness of mankind or the lack of morale or standards or any of that, because the impact is just too detrimental. It is. And the thing with the children, you know, to try to pretend like that's not what y'all about, man, that's wild. Hey, that's man, that shit ain't negotiable. And you know, I don't understand we even how we even play about anything that, I mean, you gotta forgive me. I'm telling you, you don't understand how much I pray and ask God to forgive me, man. You don't, man. I just don't get where y'all coming from with this thing with targeting kids. It's an unacceptable norm that y'all got going on that you really mean to solidify by all means necessary. You know, and this is a hard fight. And at all odds, you know. I don't even know what else to say, people, for real. Seriously, you have no clue. So, and all of the bull crap, you know, this is real. So I want you to see it for yourself. So you understand that, you know, there's no they when it comes to this racist and this hatred, it's always been the same in America. They've been behind the scenes in them sheets hiding, and it's always been, we always willing to be front line. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no problem doing none of that, because see, us dying and our lives are expendable. We don't mean anything. I just find the problem with the lack of morale. I really do. With our own people, especially based on what we face and knowing what we've been through as children ourselves, coming from poverty and all that. I understand that you want something better in life, and you want to look this part, and you want to be known as this or that, but man, that image and facade is not worth it's not worth this. I mean, the crumb snatching is not worth this. You're severely tripping. We losing too many too fast by the second for us to even negotiate our future at all. So and all of the little wild crazy things and all the games, I mean, it's unacceptable. It's not, we just can't negotiate. But when it comes to this Republican Democrat, y'all probably don't agree. You probably say whatever you know you want to say about me when it comes to. I'm just saying impeaching Trump won't make a difference, because when you look at what all of these people, they're doing all the stuff that they're saying that this man is, Democrats and Republicans. Impeaching him fixes or changes what for the American people, where it really counts and matters. I'm just saying, because it's not a problem with just Trump. You got to work up and chop them down. I'm telling you. And that's something that has to be done community to community, with the people standing up and standing together. This is the reason of keeping us broken and divided, families and communities, so that you can do these type of things in society, because it's only a gimmick to believe that because someone has money, there's plenty of people with money that is rich today that could assist, but the people that's at the bottom that weighs the most weight is uninvolved and don't want to wake up and pay attention or do anything to make a situation better, because we've already accepted that we're going to be enslaved and these people can just do anything that they want to do to us. So you use mental health, you use police reports, you use whatever you want, and you create whatever records you want, and you say this is what it is, and you just do these things to people with no regard to their rights, to the laws, or nothing, because this is the authority and power that you have, and this is something that we assist you in. Please, people, you think I'm joking? Go back and read what happened when the slaves actually was released from their masters. Everybody did not want to be a free slave. You forget that. Everybody did not want to be free. So no, what would I do without master? I stay here. Master take care of me. That mentality ain't gone. That's not gone from all of us today. This is why we see the things that we see in these people doing the things that they do. But the kids, man, we can't negotiate that. Y'all gotta really, I know I'm gonna have to do some drastic shit to get y'all attention. Y'all never make this easy for me, but I'm willing to, because the kids, we cannot negotiate. It cannot be a thing that's negotiated. You know, they can deem me, I'm telling you exactly how it goes. They deem me mentally unstable, the appeals court overturn it, they still use it. What difference do it make? Makes no difference at all. None. A judge says this, ignore it. It makes no difference at all, because this is my way of saying I'm going to do what I want. This is what we do. And y'all going to bow down and do what the hell I say, because this is how it's always been. But because something has been a certain way for so long don't mean it can't change. As long as we living and breathing, we can make change. I just can't accept this, people. I can't accept the fact that we even a part of this as Black people, and that we even would jeopardize or target our own future by doing the things that we're doing within the system with these people. Because when it comes to our communities, and I'm just being honest, you could take this however you want. I chop it up with these brothers every day. I'm out here in these streets every day, and believe me, out here is much more savage than in the suburbs in Virginia, where they got the feds and the local police watching out for them. Okay, so when you see this out here, our people don't have no care or concern for anything because of the psychological trauma. And these same things that's happening to them is ignored, and it's oh, they just crazy and all this stuff. And you live like this and you go through this for a lifetime, somebody just doing any and everything to you, and you understand what's happening and nobody cares. Man, what else could you be but crazy? If you're not fighting and you have nothing to fight with. They might not like me, but the people know, y'all know, I fight for y'all. Y'all know everywhere I've been, you know, they can't stand me at them people that put all kind of stuff in them paperwork at them shelters, but y'all know I done rode with y'all 100%. I done told you what's what. I done broke it down to you. You know what I'm saying? To help you. You already know I'm with the people. That's what I'm for. I'm for anybody that's trying to do better in life, because it's so easy to fall victim. It's so hard to overcome. And that trending bullshit just ain't it, people. I swear to you, man. We caught up in the wrong shit. You don't understand. They think because you look a certain way or you sound a certain way that means, man, people got all of these images, and that don't mean a damn thing to what's really going on. Y'all think I'm playing. Trump is just not the problem. Impeaching Trump is just a waste of damn time. That's to camouflage all the shit that they doing. That's like a little puppet show. A little, yeah, let me get some candy. That's like a little show that they putting on, you know what I'm saying, to for the public, because to cover up everything else. This is really happening. Council members, mayors, governors, this is all throughout the DMV, this is all throughout the United States of America. Your representatives, they're denying your rights. They're creating laws to assist them in targeting out of the mass majority of Black people through prisons, by education, pipelining. It's not a joke, people, okay? You got people out there campaigning and all of that about it, but until we realize that this is not acceptable, because all this is to target children, every time they get busted, it's your good upstanding judges, right? It's your good upstanding Congress or senators, right? Right? Your good upstanding folk. Churches, you're good upstanding folk. So don't play with me. Don't tell me nothing crazy about me when I'm telling you what you already know. This is common sense thing. Nobody likes to be played with. So if they get a little angry and cuss you out, you gotta forgive me for that. Hey fam, I want candy. Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second. So again, people, I gotta do all this stuff. But I'll be back and holler at y'all because this shit real and we gotta do better for real. I do care, but everybody can't be saved. I'm not, I'm not on no bullshit with these people. This is something real and the lives of our children and our families and our communities, it matters. You mean to destroy families and communities of people so that you can conquer us to do what to us? I'm not into nobody. I'm not into helping someone enslave me because I'm upset with my brother or sister. I'm not as ignorant um, or have a lack of self-love for myself to be so jealous of you that I would assist in someone doing something that impacts generations of lives. That makes no sense to me. So we're not going to reality shift and play the little slow motion games. um, I know y'all think that just because I cussed them out, I'm talking when you're dealing with the streets, you got to deal with the streets where they at. You're dealing with the government, you got to deal with them people where they at. Everybody, it's a level to everything. I understand that, but these people play games that I don't play, and I'm not about this bull crap that they're doing. So this is a long, long, hard fight. But because I have to work with other people and represent them the correct way, I have to do things a different way. So you learn with trial and error in these things. Everything is, this is a whole nother ball game and a whole nother level. So in saying that, people, instead of sitting around playing games with your life, learn to love yourself. Self-love is a major thing. Nobody can outdo you better than you. Please get that, teach your kids that. And when you, another thing, love and cherish the people that love and cherish you. That is your family. Don't get caught up in whether it's blood related or not. God sometimes bless us with good things that we take advantage of. Y'all enjoy y'all day.